Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you are there and I'm hoping to start soon. Yes. Okay. I hope you can see the screen. Um,
That when life is difficult and when everything turns bad, no one can replace as long as we never
can you hear me? Someone seems to be talking. Okay. All right. I hope you can hear me. Um, so I'm just showing you a picture today. As you can see, um, life is going to be. Now, some people say that once you finish your A level, uh, like your university exams are gonna be easy. And before your O level, they said that maybe A level going to be difficult. Of course, everyone knows. But after A level, things are going to be easy. Things are going to be fine. This is the most difficult step. In a way, you can say that is true. A level is kind of like a hard hurdle done. Okay, but A level is like once you pass A level and when once you go to the real world, you will feel like the A level qualification is still not what do you call? It's significant. It's significant. Okay, you have to pass this. You have to get through this. If you get through this, it will really open you a lot of doors. But still, again, uh, life is not going to be just easy after that. Okay, life it's going to be how you are going to actually go through it. Okay, so if you can choose to go through a difficult way, you can choose to follow certain instructions. You can choose to follow certain instructions which gives you happiness. Okay, but uh, nevertheless it's going to be, for the external person, it's going to be complicated. Okay, it's going to look like, okay, you are having a difficult time. Anyways, so you will come across even university, and university is also going to be difficult. Okay, once you finish that, you will have to go for work. Work is going to be tough. Okay, finding a work is really tough, not easy. Okay, so there are a lot of hurdles like that. Okay, there are a lot of hurdles like that. But what I can say is now your mindset. Okay, how are you going to turn your mindset? If you are going to keep your mindset in a wrong pathway, okay, it's going to be difficult for you. It's going to be tough for you, right? So I want you all to keep life. Uh, okay, you can. Okay, I want you all to enjoy stuff, to be curious. Science is about curiosity. A lot of people will say, okay, if you follow the exam questions, if you work hard, you can pass. You can go to medical faculty or whatever. You can do whatever they will say. Okay, but what I would say is you have to make sure that your curiosity is present in every situations. Okay, your curiosity doesn't dim off. Okay, so that's why here is a statement that I have shared with you. When life is difficult and when everything turns bad, and definitely everything will turn bad. Okay, you will come across situations in life, not one, two, three. You will come across a lot of situations in life where everything will turn bad and will feel against you. Okay, but what you have to do, you have to have something that drives you. Okay, in Muslims term, we call that as what? Of course, we have our final destination is we worship Allah and we have to go to what they call heaven. Okay. If you align your duties, your daily duties, okay, such that it aligns with okay, you going towards Allah, okay, going towards what Allah says, okay, you will be driven. Okay, if you do it with a sense of purpose, okay, இது இந்த எக்ஸாமோட முடியாம நான் இதுக்கு அங்கல நான் எந்த இதுதான் என் லட்சியம் இதுதான் என் வாழ்க்கை இப்படித்தான் அப்படின்ற ஒரு மைண்ட் செட்ல நீங்க செஞ்சேன்னு சொன்னாட்டா you will, if difficult situations even come, you will go across it. Okay, so even a turtle, even look at this, even a turtle can finish the race as long as he never gives up. Okay, what happens for many of us is once you finish your A level, okay, you will come across a lot of life-changing decisions. Okay, you will have to choose university. You will have to. Some of you might have to marry. Some of you might have to go somewhere. Okay, all these difficult decisions will come. Okay, but even through those difficulties, okay, even sometimes even your own loved ones, even sometimes your parents will come up with certain hurdles. So as long as you make your mind that okay, you that you have a purpose, okay, as long as you keep that and say that okay, whatever it takes, I'm not going to finish this, I'm not going to end up here, my life is going to be like this, my life is going to like this, my life is going to be like this, 35, 40, 45 age, but your life, you have a clear vision, you are seeing something in yourself, you are seeing that you are changing the world, you are seeing that you are bringing new solutions to the society, you are seeing that a lot of people are being cured by your hands, okay, you are seeing that a lot of things are being done, you are visualizing that. When you visualize things and when you have a straight pathway, what happens? Okay, these difficulties, even through these difficulties, you can go through it, you can smash through it, and your difficulties won't appear as difficulties. I'm saying this really, really important. Why am I saying this, which must stressfully? Because you will understand if you are in the other side of the coin. In one side of the coin, if you are following something, okay, fine. If follow பண்ணலட்டு என்ன நடக்கிற? You don't have a direction and you don't have a clear pathway. What will happen? Everything will, you will feel very stressful in your life. You will feel that you don't have, you will feel like you sometimes you are running behind money. Okay, sometimes you have to save your family, so you're running behind money. Sometimes you have to save this thing, so you're running behind money. Okay, so instead of running behind what do you call small uh, objects, okay, small things, have your dream big, okay, have your dream big and keep on running, okay, have your dream really big and keep on running, that you are going to do it. If you keep with that mindset, I will sure, I will 100% sure you will pass your A level, and definitely okay, if you really have that will, even many of you will get through the course you intended to go through. Okay, some of you will intend to go through medicine, some of you will have some other courses in their mind. அந்த அந்த இலட்சியமோட நீங்க பயணிச்சேன்னா உங்களுக்கு கட்டாயம் போகலாம்ன்றதை தான் நான் சொல்றேன். ஸோ டோன்ட் கிவ் அப் யுவர் ஜேர்னி. ஓகே, சாரி, ஃபோக்கஸ் ஆன் யுவர் ஜேர்னி. ஈவன் don't choose negative words. I actually said don't give up. Actually, instead of saying don't give up, I would say follow your path. Keep your eyes on your path. Keep following where you have to go. Okay, you will end up there. You will end up there, and that has been my journey. Okay, I'm an example for that. And I am not a very good. I was not a very good bright kid in my A level or O level, but I kept on persisting, and I can see that even though there were initially a lot of people who performed really well than me in class, okay, because of the reason that I kept on going, what happened? Alhamdulillah, I'm in a good place. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So I'm really happy about that. Same thing I'm saying to you. Even if you feel there are 10 people in front of you in your class, like who are உங்களுக்கு முன்னுக்கு வர 10 பேர் உங்களுக்கு முன்னுக்கு நல்ல மார்க்ஸ் எடுக்கிறான்னு யோசிச்சாலும், okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't, sorry, focus on your path, on your path, on your path. You will end up somewhere good. Okay. All right. Now, with that being said, I have to go for. I hope you show my screen and everything. Now let's go to the lesson. Okay. I really wanted to say that not please think that it has more than a motivation. think that as a life lesson. That is the truth in life. Okay, that is the truth in life. Like motivation, you can say something and it can dim off in a day or two. But there are certain truths in life. Okay, as long as you follow it, life will be fine. Okay, so keep it like a truth. Okay, all right. Okay, now we are coming to the lesson chemical and cellular basis of life. Okay. Uh, I think some of you are trying to keep on logging in and you are moving in. Let me know if I'm turning on the video is a problem. Okay, you're having a hard time to stay connected. Let me know that. Okay, if that is the case, I can perhaps close the video because I'm opening the video because I can keep you all interactive. Okay, I have to talk to you. So okay, so this is the lesson that I kind of like planned today. Mm, so most of the things that you are going to get in your exams, okay, is going to be from your teacher's resource book. Okay, earlier it was I think called teacher's instruction manual. Now it's called teacher's resource book. Okay, in this resource book, like as far like if you are very thorough with it, I'm really sure that you will go to a great place. So a lot of people say that okay, we have to give some people extra notes, some extra things to memorize, extra. Okay, what I would say is that before going to the extras, focus on what's really need to be focused. So your resource book A and B, the past papers. B, the past papers, because in the past papers you have the notes. In the resource book you have notes. If you follow this, okay, you are alhamdulillah more than 85% okay. Okay, because there will be always a percentage they will ask some extremely new questions in your A level that you can't do anything actually, because even if you studied a lot of things, because of that few percentage you will, if you try to stress yourself for that few marks, you will lose everything. So focus on what's really important. Okay, really important, and that will get through. So my way of teaching to you all, okay, is not, I'm not going to teach you all in a traditional sense of way. Okay, that I have to say first. Okay, in a traditional way people can give you notes, people can make you do past papers, all those stuff can happen. I might give you past papers, yes, but if this class continues I will give you past papers. But my approach, my way of teaching is that I want to teach you how to learn something. Okay, this is something that I struggled with during my annual because I wanted to know how to learn. How are these overachievers? How are these people who come first in class? Or how are these people who are really competitive? How are they actually learning? Okay, because if you also know that ingredient, you also can learn it. Okay, you also can learn, of course. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, there will be methods that are catered towards yourself that will make you learn. Okay. So you have to be prepared on how to learn, because this class will be like what, maybe 2 hours. Okay. But you are going to spend the rest of the day. You are going to learn. So this one also I have to say. Another point that I have to say is that this is something I have to really say is that don't keep your phone. I mean, like, if you want to study, okay, if you want to study, I can understand that it's something difficult. Okay, I'm not saying that it's easy. I might even have struggled with that. Your phone, there is something called distractions. Okay, distractions, and you are studying. Now, while you are studying in a lesson, okay, don't keep, please keep things that helps you make to study. Okay. Uh, okay. I will tell you. For example. Now, let's say that you are in your bedroom, okay? In your bedroom, there is a bed, there is a table, okay, where you are seated on, okay? And then there is your, let's say, phone on your table, okay? Now you have to arrange yourself in a way that, okay, these distractions doesn't get the better of you, okay? Uh, if you are going to bed, for example, okay, how will you go to bed? If the bed is closer to you, the chances that you will go to the bed will increase. If the phone is near you, the chance that you will take the phone will increase. This is psychology, okay? This is basic psychology. Like that's how the human mind is designed, okay? Like if you have the phone and if you have a bed in your room, get rid of those, okay? Because when you feel tired or when you feel your mind will take you there, okay? So so take out yourself first from the distractions. Taking out yourself from the distractions is really, really important. If there is even a simple thing that can take out your distractions, take it out. Okay. I have additional points, but I will hopefully say it later regarding how to train your brain to stay focused. Like how to there are certain people, sometimes they get bored, right? Like after studying 2 hours or 3 hours, you're getting bored. Okay, now you have to go to your lesson, and again, you can't really concentrate your lessons because you have certain things to run. You have to wash your dress, or you have to go there or go do this. Okay, so so how to manage those things? So I probably tell those things, but before that, let's go to the lesson. Okay, okay. The point that I said is, first of all, don't allow your distractions. Okay. Now come to this thing. That is, now you are going to learn a lesson, chemical and cellular basis of life. Okay. You can learn two ways. You can just read these things and you can think that you can understand these things. And maybe after 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, you can forget these things. Again, come and read. Okay. Again, you are going through page one, page two, page three. Okay, remember. Okay, now you think that you can remember, but திருப்பி நான் நாளை கேட்ட பிறகு என்ன திருப்பி நாளைக்கு மறந்து. Okay. Okay, you can't keep on like you have to do something about this. This is what I said in the even the last class. There is something called active recall and spaced repetition that you have to follow. Okay. Uh, so this one I discussed. If it will be there in the recording, how active recall is done and spaced repetition. Keep yourself attached to the class. Sorry, to attach to the lesson. Okay, attached to the lesson and how not to forget. So I would hope that you will recall that. Uh, okay, so there are other techniques. Okay, now I will start the lesson first of all. Okay, the second lesson, it's it's talking about chemical and cellular basis of life. So under chemical and cellular basis of life, you will come across what do you call it? A lot of things. You will come across photosynthesis, you will come across enzymes, how they function. You may come across, okay, first of all, we will go with carbohydrate, protein, so on. Okay. So there is a category of lessons. So, okay. So there's a category of things that you have to go through. So in that one, the first one, we are coming to the elemental composition of living matter. So I am Ahmad, okay? I am Ahmad, and if you take my body, okay, uh, there are going to be some elements, okay? There are going to be some elements which are really essential, okay? Which are really essential and going to make the major part of the human body, okay? Uh, so in that sense, how much, how major it is? 96.3%, 96.3% of the body, okay, is made up of these elements. What are those elements? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, I don't need to tell you, like you already know that carbohydrates makes major part of your body. A lot of components in your body is made up of carbohydrates. HNO, it is making the water. So it is already, it's a very huge quantity. And even in other elements, in other compounds in your body, you have this hydrogen and oxygen. And then you have nitrogen, okay? Nitrogen is also making your proteins, okay? Uh, okay, protein and nucleic acids. What are proteins and nucleic acids? Proteins mean, you know what is protein? Nucleic acid means DNA and RNA, okay? So these are made up of nitrogen. So, so you have a lot of facts here, a lot of facts here. Then they say of the body mass and calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, nitrogen, chlorine, and trace elements account for the remaining 3.7%. So what you can do is, okay, now you have to, now I am going to explain another major thing that you have to remember. That is, you have to visualize, okay? You have to learn how to visualize. Um visualization is an important aspect of learning, okay? Um, so 96% means like maybe you can draw like a pie chart. Sorry, I'll draw a clear one. Yeah. So you can draw like a pie chart. Okay, in this pie chart, so you can see that a major percentage. Sorry. Okay, a major percentage goes to what? 96.3% to be precise. 96.3%. Yeah, 96.3%. It goes to these compounds, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. 3.7%, it says calcium, potassium, like these compounds, okay? Visualizations helps you a lot in exams. Like if you're doing a math paper, you know that how if you visualize your answers through pie charts and graphs and all, you can go to a clear view of what's happening, right? So even in physics, that will happen. Like if you are going like they're giving like a question in motion, okay, you can quickly plot it down like a diagram. And okay, now when you see the picture, now you can answer well. Oh, if it's in words, you have to keep everything in mind and then analyze. So visualization helps a lot. So use that one. And for the remaining 3.7%, boron, cobalt, copper, chromium, fluorine, this makes, okay, 96% of the body mass, and this one, and trace element accounts for the, and trace elements, okay, hold on, give me a second. Okay, not that one, the trace elements. These are not trace elements name. So trace elements like this. Okay, all these elements, copper, chlorine, fluorine, trace elements are only the one making 3.7 percentage. Okay. Uh, okay, trace elements. Give me a second. I'm getting the wording right here. And okay, trace elements and oh yeah, I know what I said was true. Uh, this one, and these all, okay, this made of 3.7 percentage. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen makes 96.3 percentage, okay. So 96.3 percentage is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. And then this 3.7 percentage is going to be those trace elements. Okay, I will come to the, let's go to the subject name. We have to do a little bit more. So you can visualize this three pie chart and put what are the trace elements and this one, okay? If you buy this book, like if you buy this manual, you can write it there itself, okay? And you can color it or do whatever and keep it like there. So it will be easy for you when you're referring, okay? So I would highly encourage you to get this, okay? Uh, okay, what is carbon? Okay, carbon is making, we will see that, that is, it's making polysaccharides, monosaccharides, and disaccharides, okay? Uh, Mainly, those are the carbohydrates. Okay, carbohydrates we call that. Without that, carbon is also making the structure of CO2. Okay, um, carbon is making the structure of a lot of other inorganic stuff. Okay, inorganic. There is inorganic and organic. I'll come to that. Okay, hold on. Physical and chemical. Let's go to here. Okay, physical and chemical properties of water important for life. Okay, this subject. Okay, why water is important for life, and what's the use of water. So this is something that you might have to remember. If you go to your old instruction manual, that is the one um, which came out in 2012, there'll be a chart. Okay, in that chart, um, I think that chart is there, and that chart you can find what are the properties of water, which are like they have put a table. Okay, this property of water, okay, what is this function? Okay, this property of water, what is this function? Similarly, for this lesson also, what I would say is physical and chemical properties of water important for life. Okay, so this lesson also, you can put a chart. Okay, uh, on one side of the chart, okay, what can you have? Okay, in your case, it's easy. Only they have given only four major behaviors that are they are in water, which helps for life maintenance. அடிடா the ஒரு உயிரினம் வந்து வாழணும்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் 90% my water இருக்கு. Okay, so in that water, okay, that ஏன் அது அவ்வளோ water இருந்துச்சுன்னாட்டா water has a lot of properties. Okay, lots of properties. Not only this, there are lots of properties. Among that, they have given around four important properties of water. So what you can do is, first thing, okay, you can put a chart. Give me a second. You can put a chart like this. Okay. Uh, yeah, this way. Okay, and this way. So it's something that you yourself have to do. Okay. A lot of people have complained that they can't finish the syllabus within time. Um, my idea is that if you have to finish the syllabus within time, then you have to think through how you can finish it. Okay. Uh, because planning, this is another thing that I have to say. Okay. Planning, if you are sitting for an exam, if you are writing an essay type question, maybe 30 minutes will be given for you. But you have to use at least like what? If you use like let's say 8 minutes for planning, 30 minutes essay paper இருந்துச்சுன்னாடா ஒரு கொஸ்டனுக்கு நீங்க 30 minutes allocate பண்றேன்டா அதுல அதுல ஒரு 8 நிமிஷம் you can use for planning. This is really important because planning இல்லாம உங்களுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் பண்ணணும். ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் பண்ணல. ஓகே, பிளான் பண்ணா தான் அந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் ஒன்று வரும். இப்படித்தான். ஓகே, இப்படி ஓகே, கிவ் த ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் இதில் எஸ்ஏ ஒன்று எழுத நினைச்சேன்டா. ஓகே ஓகே, வாட்டர்ட என்ன ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ்? ஓகே, 4க்கு உடைச்சிட்டேன். ஓகே, 4க்கு உடைச்சி ஓகே இந்த ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸில் என்னத்தை நான் மென்ஷன் பண்ணணும், என்னத்தை மென்ஷன் பண்ணக்கூடாது, எந்த மென்ஷன் பண்ணணும், இந்த இதில் எப்படி 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 அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு டைம் எடுத்து யூ ஹேவ் டு பிளான் இட். படபடன்னு உடனே கொஸ்டினை வாசிச்ச அப்புறம் அப்படியே போய் தெளிவாம you have to look at the question, plan it and write it. That's the way. And எப்படி எழுதுற ஒரு paragraph எழுதுகோலே, you say a point, then you give an explanation to that point, then you give some examples to that point. Okay, so there's a methodology. There is a method that you have to use to write essay type questions. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind. Okay, coming back to the point. Okay, you can put a table something like this. Okay, and maybe you can write here cohesive behavior, cohesive behavior. Then you can, I'm writing it shortly so that ability to moderate temperature. So try to remember the keywords. Then you don't need more loads in your head. Okay. Then you can say expansion. Okay. Then you can say versatility. Okay. Tility on all of these things. Okay. So this is properties. Okay. Now, here's the thing. So there are four properties: cohesive behavior, ability to moderate temperature, okay, expansion of, okay, cohesive behavior. Cohesiveness na enna. Look at this hydrogen, okay, not hydrogen, sorry, these water molecules, okay, water molecules and the hydrogen bond, okay. சாதாரணமா ஒரு வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல் எடுக்கிறேன்னு சொன்னாண்டா ஓகே அதுக்கு ரெண்டு ஹைட்ரஜனிக்கும் ஒரு ஆக்சிஜனிக்கும் இது எப்படி பழைய காலம் இது நீங்க முந்தி படிச்சது சாரி ஓகே you'll have an oxygen molecule and then you have two hydrogen atoms. Sorry, you have an oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. Uh, this is how you wrote earlier. Now you have to understand that in reality, இப்படி நிறைய இருக்கும் தானே ஓகே இப்படி நிறைய ஈக்கக்கொலை அது இப்போ மூணு ஸ்டேட்ல இருக்கும் தானே ஒன்று வந்து என்ன சொல்ற கேஸ் ஒன்று வந்து கேஸ் then you have liquid you have எல்லாத்துக்கும் முந்தைய என்ன சொல்லணும் நான் solid ஓகே இது மூணும் ஈக்கி இது மூணும் ஏன் இப்படி ஈக்குன்றதை விளைவிக்கணும் சரியா அதுக்கு தான் இந்த ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்ட்ஸ்ன்றது எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இது சரியா ஒரு அட்டாச்மெண்ட்டும் இல்லாம இவர் இப்படின்ற என்ன அர்த்தம் யாருன்ற அர்த்தம் இவர் கேஸ் அர்த்தம் ஏண்டா இவருக்கும் மற்ற ஹைட்ரஜன் இந்த வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூலுக்கும் தொடர்பு இல்லை சரியா இவர் கேஸ் அர்த்தம் இப்ப லிக்விட் வாட்டர் எடுத்துக்கொண்டேன்னா தான் நாங்க வந்து இந்த ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்டிங்கை பத்தி நாங்க பேசுறோம் solid எடுத்துக்கொண்டேன்னா we will talk about the structure of water okay uh, the structure of water lattice structure of water right so we will talk about those things when it comes to uh, solid here we are talking about liquid so that's why we are talking about what the hydrogen bond what are hydrogen bonds are kind of okay uh, it's kind of like a bond that is present between one water molecule and another water molecule typically you can see these connections okay look at this so this is one water molecule I'll try to okay no I'll draw it okay uh, yeah another water molecule Ryome. Something like this okay uh, so you have another water molecule so between these water molecules you will have a force of attraction okay you will have a force of attraction okay it's you draw irregularly but you know what my point is right so oxygen so this oxygen is there this hydrogen is there this hydrogen is there okay so water ஈக்கக்குள்ள உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் molecules are closer to each other okay and அதுக்கிட்ட உங்களுக்கு இந்த வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்லே இருக்கிற பாண்ட்ஸ் தானே those are very strong bonds okay those are very strong bonds அந்த bonds நீங்க உடைச்சனா you have to produce a very large energy ஆனா அப்படி இல்லாம அதை விட வீக்கான ஒரு வகையான பாண்ட் தான் ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்ட்ன்றது ஓகே இந்த ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்டுன்றது ஒரு வகையான பாண்ட், ஒரு வகையான அட்ராக்ஷன். இப்போ நான் சொன்னேனே கேஸ்ல வந்து என்ன, கேஸ்ல வந்து இது வகையான ஒரு ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்ட். ஓகே, and it will have also a charge separation, delta plus, sorry, delta minus and delta plus. Hydrogen has a positive this thing and oxygen has a negative charge. Okay, partial charge we call that. It's not fully charged. Fully charged in the we'll put plus and minus. நீங்க கெமிஸ்ட்ரியில ஏற்கனவே படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. fully charged in the ஒரு ஒரு அட்டமும் இன்னொரு அட்டமும் இரண்டு we sometimes we put plus and minus if there is a உதாரணத்துக்கு சொன்னா OH minus in the there will be a ഓക്ക് കിട്ട ഒരു മൈനസ് ഉണ്ടിരിക്കും തന്നെ. ഓക്കും ഹൈഡ്രജനും ഓക്സിജൻ ബണ്ടുക്കും ഇടയിൽ ബോണ്ട് ഉണ്ടിരിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ஆனால் ஆக்சிஜனுக்கு மேல என்ன ஒரு மைனஸ் சார்ஜ் உண்டிக்கும், தட் இஸ் ஃபுல் சார்ஜ். ஓகே, அந்த சார்ஜில் இது வந்து பார்ஷியல் சார்ஜ், டெல்டா பிளஸ் டெல்டா மைனஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அ டைப் ஆஃப் வீக் அட்ராக்ஷன். ஓகே, அண்ட் இந்த வீக் அட்ராக்ஷன் உடைச்சிறதுக்கு நீங்க என்ன செய்யணும், வாட்டரை நீங்க வந்து பாயில் பண்ணணும். வாட்டரை பாயில் பண்ணா யூ வில் see that this weak attraction will fade away. ஓகே, ஸோ நீங்க வாட்டரை மெதுவாக பாயில் பண்ணக்குள்ள இந்த பாண்ட் வந்து உடையும். ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஓகே, ஸோ தட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ் when you boil the water. வாட்டர் பாயில் ஆகிறது டிகிரி செல்சியஸில் 100 டிகிரி செல்சியஸில். பட் இன்னொரு அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் ஒன்றிக்கும் lattice ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் உண்டு, that will come for solid. ஓகே, solid. Okay, anyways, I have to erase these things. The eraser taking too long. Anyways, so this is really important. In the properties then, the liquid air properties then, overall the water use அது help பண்ணுது. Okay, skip back to the subject. So this is, we call it as polarity. Okay, polarity, and you can see a delta plus and delta minus charge. அதை நான் தெளிவா வரைஞ்சு காட்டினேன் அப்படி. ஓகே, ஆனா அதுலயும் எப்படி சொன்னா இந்த சார்ஜுக்கு தானே, charge is not equal on both sides. Okay, delta minus and delta plus மீக்கும் அந்த there will be a kind of like a, what do you call, the electronegativity. You might have studied in chemistry electronegativity நடிக்கும். அது ஆக்சிஜனுக்கு எத்தனை 3.5, right? 3.5. Hydrogen, okay, hydrogen is a small level around 2.1, right? So what happens, the charge distribution oxygen பக்கம் வந்து கூட, charge distribution oxygen பக்கம் வந்து கூட. Okay, electron cloud will be attracted more towards the oxygen. Okay, more towards the oxygen. The charge distribution is unequal because of the electronegativity of the oxygen atom. So these are the elements, these are the fundamental things that you have to know. Okay, weak attractions between the slightly polar hydrogen atom. Okay, so polarized slightly negative electron cloud on the slightly towards hydrogen atom but more towards the oxygen atom. Okay, this is polarized, this is called getting polarized. ரெண்டு பக்கத்துக்கு இழுபடுற. ஓகே, இப்ப இழுபட்டிற அந்த ஹைட்ரஜன் அட்டகம் ஸ்மால் சார்ஜுக்கு தானே அதுவும் இன்னொரு மாலிக்யூல் ஆக்சிஜனுக்கும் இடையில ஒரு அந்த ஹை சார்ஜ் என்ன சொல்ற ஹை எலக்ட்ரான் கிளவுடுக்கும் இங்கட ஈர ஆக்சிஜன் வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூலோட low electron cloud இடையில ஒரு attraction தான் இந்த hydrogen bonds. Okay, so that is what they are saying. In the hydrogen bond தான் will help to maintain all the properties of water. Okay, mainly the liquid properties. Okay, okay, இதுல cohesive behavior சொல்லிட்டு பார்க்கிறோம். Okay, cohesive behavior என்ன? Okay, attraction between water molecules due to hydrogen bonding is known as cohesion. Okay, அப்ப அந்த ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்டுக்கு ஈரனால இது அந்த இது தான் இப்போ நான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணேன். அந்த எலக்ட்ரான் கிளவுட் வந்து சார்ஜ் வந்து என்ன சொல்ற, எலக்ட்ரான் கிளவுட் வந்து கொஞ்சமாയിരിக்கும் ஹைட்ரஜன் பக்கம், கூட ஆயிருக்கும் இன்னொரு மாலிக்யூலோட வாட்டர் பக்கம், ரெண்டுக்கும் இடையில அட்ராக்ஷன் அடிக்கும். இதுக்கு தான் சொல்ற கொஹேசிவ் cohesion சொல்றேன். Okay, attraction between water molecules and other substances are known as adhesion. So this is something O level. Okay, இப்போ விளங்கிச்சா? O levelல நீங்க முந்தி cohesion adhesion என்று படிச்சிருப்பீங்க sometimes. இதான் மீனிங். வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ்க்கு இடையில இரு இன்டராக்ஷன்ஸ்க்கு சொல்ற cohesion உண்டு. வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ்க்கும் மற்ற மாலிக்யூல்ஸ்க்கும் இடையில இதுக்கு சொல்றாங்க adhesion உண்டு. சரியா? உதாரணத்துக்கு எடுத்துக்கொண்டேன்னு சொன்னாட்டா, transpiration pull in plants. Okay, transpiration pull times, okay, there will be a attraction between water molecules. There will be a attraction between the water molecules and the என்ன சொல்ற, the vascular structure இருக்கும், xylem இடையில இருக்கும். ஓகே, அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? மேலீர ஆளை பிடிச்சி இழுத்தன்னு சொன்னாடா, டிரான்ஸ்பிரேஷன் புல் எந்த ஆகுது? மேலீர ஒரு ஆள், மேலீர ஒரு வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல் பிடிச்சி இழுத்தான்னு சொன்னாண்டா, அதோட சேர்ந்து எல்லா வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்ஸும் உண்டாகி வரும். ஓகே, ஸோ ஸோ அப்போ என்ன ஆகுது? இதில் ஹைட்ரஜன் பாண்ட்ன்றது கண்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணுது டிரான்ஸ்பிரேஷன் புல்லுக்கு. இல்லைங்களா? ஸோ வாட் ஹேப்பன்? வாட்டர் டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் ஆகிறதுக்கு இது வந்து ஓவராலாக ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது. ஸோ தட் இஸ் it's a very big property, right? That's a very huge thing. It's happening in small scale, but it's a very huge thing. ஏண்டா ஒத்தரை பிடிச்சி இழுக்க கொள்ள தான் மற்ற எல்லா வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்ஸும் வருது. அப்போ இட்ஸ் because of this hydrogen bonding. Gases doesn't have hydrogen bonding. அதனால தான் எல்லாம் தூரம் இரு. ஓகே, இதனால தான் they say that minerals, nutrients எல்லாமே, வாட்டர் மட்டும் இல்லை, அதோட சேர்ந்து எல்லாமே வந்து இழுபட்டு மேலே போகுது. ஓகே, அண்ட் adhesion, cohesion ஒரு பக்கம் எல்லாம் வருது, adhesion. ஓகே, adhesion இல்லைன்னு சொல்லுவீங்களே, adhesion இல்லாட்டி என்ன நடக்கும்? அப்படி இப்படி ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்குறேன்னு வச்சோமே, உங்களோட ஏ லெவல் பேப்பரில் கொஸ்டினோட கேட்குறாங்க. adhesion வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூலுக்கும் உங்களோட இந்த என்ன சொல்ற வெஸ்கியூலர் பண்டலுக்கும் இடையில there is no adhesion between water molecule and vascular bundle. What will happen? ஒருக்க நீங்க இழுப்பீங்க, அந்த ஃபோர்ஸ் வந்து இல்லாம போன அப்புறம் என்ன ஆகும்? அப்படியே கீழே வரும். அப்படித்தானே? இந்த இதுக்கும் இடையில அட்ராக்ஷன் வந்து இல்லாட்டி என்ன ஆகும்? அப்படியே கீழே விழும். ஆனா ஈரனால என்ன ஆகுது? அப்படியே வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல் இப்படி வந்து பிடிச்சு நிக்குது. அந்த adhesion தான், if you take a water, this thing, you can see this one, right? This is the adhesion. Actually, this adhesion is due to the hydrogen bonding. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, adhesion between water molecules, and so this is adhesion. This is adhesion. Adhesion between water molecules and cell walls also help in. So this helps in conduction of water. Water has a high surface tension. Okay, this ability is given to water molecules due to cohesion between the molecules. Okay, surface tension. Okay, now okay, surface tension ஏற்படுது. So this is surface tension. Actually, this is what I was explaining. So this is adhesion. Water has a high surface tension. This is because given what due to cohesion between water. Therefore, in an upper surface, water molecules are attracted by lower surface molecules, and it forms a water film. Okay, so this the meniscus difference is coming due to adhesion and cohesion. Okay, and so this is why they are attracted and they are like that. So or application and insects. Okay, so this one you have to visualize. Okay, உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், ஒரு பொண்டண்டுக்கு போனா இல்லாட்டி எது சரி ஒரு இடமண்டுக்கு போனான்னு சொன்னாட்டா சில பூச்சி அடிக்கும். பூச்சிகள் பார்த்தாண்டா நீங்க அந்த தண்ணிட மேலுக்கு நின்று கொண்டிருக்கும். நாங்க போய் தீந்தா என்ன ஆகும்? நாங்க போய் தீந்தா என்ன ஆகும்? அப்படியே அப்படியே உள்ளுக்கு போறது தண்ணி உள்ளுக்கு. ஆனா அப்படி இல்லை, பூச்சிகள் போய் தீந்த இக்கக்கோலே, சின்ன பூச்சிகள் போய் தீக்கக்கோலே அந்த லெக்ஸுக்கு தானே, அந்த லெக்ஸ் வந்து it's it has a it's forming an attachment with the water molecule top so that it doesn't submerge. Okay, so that kind of attraction, so that kind of attraction is what we are talking here. What is that? uh, Cohesion. Okay. uh, so keep noting this point. um, So I'm going to simply say these points, and I'm going to say this how you are going to remember these points. Okay, that is my important this thing. Over ஒரு point பத்தி explain பண்றத விட, yes, I can do that, but my specific goal here is to show you how you are going to remember these points. Okay, மனுஷனுக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் உண்டு தெரியுமா? They remember, the human brain can only remember stories. If you say facts here and there, அங்க ஒரு விஷயம் நீங்க சொல்றீங்க, திருப்பி இங்க ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்றீங்க, திருப்பி இன்னொரு விஷயம் சொல்றீங்க, கிளாஸ்ல நான் அப்படி செஞ்சு கொண்டு போறேன். ஓகே, பட் இன் ரியாலிட்டி when you study, okay, you have to connect and make a story. Now if you make a story, you will remember. Stories are important. Okay, நான் உங்களுக்கு இந்த 20 வருஷத்துக்கு முந்தி இல்ல என்ன சொல்றேன், ஓகே 5 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முந்தி என்ன நடந்ததுன்னு கேட்டா உங்களுக்கு ஓகே உங்களோட இமோஷன்ஸ், you would have a good emotion that time because of that certain மனப்பதிவுகள் இருக்கும், and you will tell me a story. You won't say me facts, you will tell me a story because you remember things as story. Human brains are capable of comprehending only stories. Okay, so remember things to stories. Storytelling is an important fact that you have to note. Okay, so because of that, i'm I'm teaching these parts, but you have to figure out a way how to attach எல்லாத்தையும் cohesive behavior. இப்போ அடுத்து வந்து ability to moderate temperature இக்கி. ஸோ இதை எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ற, அதை எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ற, அடுத்தது எக்ஸ்பான்ஷன் அப்பான் ஃப்ரீசிங்கோட, அப்புறம் வெர்சட்டிலிட்டி ஆஸ் அ சால்வெண்ட் இதோட எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ற அப்படின்னு சொல்லி யூ ஹாவ் டு கம் அப் வித் ஸ்டோரிஸ் to form attachments. Okay, so this is really important. Okay, okay, cohesive behavior என்னன்னு சொல்லி you would have got an idea, but if you have any doubts, please ask me in the chat if you haven't understood that. uh, so water high surface tension is due to the cohesion. Okay, not adhesion. It's due to the cohesion between water molecules. Okay, all right. If the water is pure water la, you won't see that meniscus. இப்படி வருது தானே, இந்த curve வந்து வருது. The pure water la, you won't see that. But in impure water, uh, no. In pure water, you will see that. In pure water also, you will see that it's due to cohesion. Okay, it's just forget what I said. Just due to cohesion. You can remember that. Okay. Okay. Ability to moderate temperature. Okay. Ability to moderate temperature. யோசிங்கோ, நீங்க வந்து ஆர்டிக்கு போற. ஓகே, ஆர்டிக் you are going to the Arctic, and you are it's the environment is really freezing. It's mind-blowingly freezing. Okay, but you will see some sea lions, you will see some sometimes even polar bears which are going underneath the water. Okay, avoid polar bear will you, but you will see some fishes or some animals which are living inside the water underneath the ice. மேலால ஐட் ஷீட் ஒண்டிக்கும், அது கீழால இந்த என்ன சொல்ற அனிமல்ஸ் எல்லாம் வாழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கும். அது எப்படி நடக்குது? ஓகே, அது எப்படி நடக்குது அது எப்படி நடக்குது என்று கேட்டீங்கடா. ஓகே, லெட்ஸ் ட்ரா திஸ் பார்ட். ஓகே, okay, this is the picture. Okay, in this one, so this is This is the ice. Sorry, this is the water. On top of this water, you will see an ice sheet, right? So, and here you can see that there will be organisms living. Some sort of organisms living. I'm just drawing, okay? You get the point. Temperature வந்து எப்பவுமே வெளியே, okay? Atmospheric temperature is cold, okay? It's less than how much? Sometimes let's assume that it has around minus 30 degrees Celsius சரியான கூதலான area. Sometimes if you go to the Arctic, you will encounter these situations where the temperature is very cold outside. Okay. Now there is an ice sheet. Ice, okay, ice sheet. Here the temperature, ice is like an insulator actually. Okay. Uh, Here the temperature will be something like maybe 10 degrees Celsius. So something like that. Okay. 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. Here there is ice. Why வெளியே -30 degree Celsius? ஏன் உள்ளுக்கு 10 degree Celsius? ஏண்டா உயிரினம் வாழணும் சொன்னா ஐஸ்ல புகையல இல்லையா? நம்மளும் ஃபிஷ் இல்லாட்டி நம்மளும் வந்து வாழணும் சொன்னாண்டா they can't survive within an ice. They should have liquid water. Okay, they should have liquid water. ஆனா எப்படி அது லிக்விட் ஆயிக்கி? It's because of this ice sheet. The ice sheet is covering. It's acting as an insulator. It's acting as an insulator and it's trapping the heat from inside உள்ளுக்கிற heat வெளியே atmosphere போறதுல இருந்து தடுக்குது. Okay, this is an important aspect. Okay, so water, okay, uh, by being in by being both as an ice and as a liquid, it's able to retain the heat within the system without escaping to the atmosphere. So it's able to moderate temperature by acting as an insulator. Okay, by acting as an insulator. So that uh, this is one thing. Okay, uh, the other thing. Okay, so this is one way of moderating temperature. The other thing is in human body itself. Okay, human body என்னைக்கும் what happens உங்களுக்கு நீங்க எங்கேயாலும் போய் ஓடிட்டு வாரீங்க, என்ன நடக்குது? வேர்த்து கொட்டுது. வேர்வன்றது என்ன? ஓகே, வேர்வன்றது என்ன? வேர்வன்றது இட்ஸ் சிம்பிள். இட்ஸ் த லாஸ் ஆஃப் ஹீட். It's what's happening is once you run, your cells in your body starts to churn up and it produces a lot of heat. Okay, this heat, okay, uh, it needs to be released out. Okay, it needs to go out. Okay, you can't stand that heat. So what's happening? Okay, your body is producing sweat. Okay, and absorbing that heat. Okay, absorbing that heat and it can evaporate. Okay, it's evaporating. So that is வேர்வை. Okay, வேர்வைன்றது என்ன? It's a heat trapping mechanism. Okay, it traps your heat and it evaporates. Okay, that's kind of what we call as sweat. So sweat is essential to regulate the human body temperature. இப்போ sweat இல்லைன்னு சொல்லி வைங்களேன், என்ன ஆகும்? உங்களோட பாடியில் இது வர ஹீட் என்ன ஆகும்? It will be like burning, right? It will be like burning. You can't release the heat. So that heat needs to be immediate release. If it needs immediate release, water acts as a good absorbent of that heat and it will sweat out. So that is another way of regulating temperature. Okay, so the way to understand cold on environment போனாண்டா அதோட opposite நடக்கும். என்ன ஆகும்? Water release ஆகாது, வேர்வை நடக்காது. இன்ஸ்டெட் your body will try to trap the heat more. உள்ளுக்கிற ஹீட்டை வெளியே போக விடாது. So that is in cold environments. So these things can happen. Okay. Okay, then what else? What else is there? So prevent from overheating. The body surface overheat தடுக்குது அதை சொல்லலாம். ஓகே இது வாட்டர்ட ஓகே இப்போ நான் டேபிளோட போட்டேன். ஓகே ஒரு பக்கத்தில் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் இன்னொரு பக்கத்தில் வாட்டர்ட என்ன அதாவது there is a correlation between the வாட்டர்ட என்ன ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி ஓகே என்ன ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி நோண்டிக்கும் ஓகே this is the function water என்ன property would help that. It's the specific heat, high specific heat. So these things you have to note. Okay, these things you have to know. Due to the high specific heat, water will function as a thermal buffer in living system. Thermal buffer means buffer is something that's regulating, like it's and the or limit out to if you use a chemical buffer, it won't help. It won't make you the pH go here and there. It will maintain the pH. If you use a water, if you use water, what will happen? It will help to maintain the temperature at a particular range without letting it fluctuate. Okay, so that is that. Okay, due to the high heat of vaporization with minimum loss of water, அப்ப இஹின்ல நீங்க குழம்பு இந்த குழம்புறது கேஸ். ஓகே, என்ன குழம்பு due to the high specific heat, water will function as a thermal buffer. Due to the high heat of vaporization, with the minimum loss of water, an organism can release much heat energy. Therefore, body surface and organism maintain as a cool surface. So, high heat of vaporization, இதுக்கு நீங்க connect பண்ணணும். நான் சொன்னேன் இப்போ connections உருவாக்க சொல்லி. This is very important. High heat of vaporization, you have to connect it with uh, its ability to cool down surfaces. Okay. High specific heat will help to prevent fluctuation. So this is how you have to connect the points and remember. Okay. எந்த தன்மை எதுக்கு உதவும் heat of vaporization எதுக்கு உதவும் high specific மாத்தி சொல்லப்படா. Okay, so it's better to always remember that way, and the best way to remember that is I drew a chart above. I will come to that um, after a while. So that is ability to moderate temperature. ஸோ இங்கே நீங்கள் சொல்கிற உதாரணம் இங்கே என்ன தருங்க எவப்ரேஷன் ஆஃப் ஸ்வெட் ஃப்ரம் ஹியூமன் ஸ்கின். ஓ ஸ்வெட் ஒரு பக்கம் அடுத்தது டிரான்ஸ்பிரேஷன். டிரான்ஸ்பிரேஷன் இன்னொன்று. ஓகே, டிரான்ஸ்பிரேஷன் இன்னொன்று. Now we are coming to here. Generally in an expansion upon freezing. Okay, expansion upon freezing. So what is this one? So ability to moderate temperature என்றது okay, that one. Expansion upon freezing என்றது தான் என்ன ஆகும்னு சொன்னாண்டா வாட்டர் வந்து எக்ஸ்பேண்ட் ஆகும். இது ஃபிசிக்ஸில் ஒரு கிராஃப் கொண்டு வரும். இப்படி வந்து கேட்பாங்கண்டா இப்படி போட்டு what happened to the density of water with temperatureன்னு சொல்லி கேட்பாங்க. அப்போ 0 டிகிரி செல்சியஸ் இங்கன்னு சொன்னாண்டா 4 டிகிரி செல்சியஸ் இங்கன்னு சொன்னாண்டா ஓகே டெம்பரேச்சர் இன் டிகிரி செல்சியஸ்ன்னு சொன்னேன் 0 4 இங்கே 0 to 4 என்ன ஆகும்னு சொன்னாண்டா டென்சிட்டி இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு மாஸ் ஆஃப் வால்யூம் தானே. ஓகே, density is equal to mass over volume. அப்போ வாட்டர் வந்து ஒன்றாவது ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டுக்கு okay, let's read this. Generally, an increase in temperature of any substance reduce their density. On the other hand, increase in temperature of any substance, அதாவது டெம்பரேச்சர் சரி ஒரு சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கொண்டாண்டா டெம்பரேச்சர் கூடுச்சுன்னு சொன்னால் என்ன ஆகும் ரெடியூஸ் தியர் டென்சிட்டி வந்து குறையும். Okay, and on the other hand, in a decrease in temperature, increase their density. டெம்பரேச்சர் T வந்து குறைஞ்சேன்னு சொன்னாண்டா டென்சிட்டி கூடுமாம். பொதுவாக இது நடக்குமாம். T வந்து கூடினாண்டா டென்சிட்டி வந்து குறையுமாம். இது நடக்கும் பொதுவாக. ஓகே. When the temperature of water falls below 4 degrees Celsius, it begins to freeze. ஓகே. அதாவது 4 டிகிரி செல்சியஸுக்கு குறைய போல அந்த ஐஸ் கிறிஸ்டல் ஃபார்ம் ஆக தொடங்குமாம். ஓகே. Therefore, the water has the maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius. So, இந்த curve எப்படி இருக்கும்னு சொன்னாண்டா 4 டிகிரி செல்சியஸ்ல தான் வாட்டருக்கு மேக்ஸிமம் டென்சிட்டி இருக்குமாம். டி வெர்சஸ் டி டெம்பரேச்சர் ஒரு கர்வ் கொண்டு வரைஞ்சேன்னு சொன்னாண்டா how will it look? It will look something like this. Mm, I can't draw. Give me a second. Okay, anyways, I will draw just like this, okay? So this is a straight line. Imagine this is a straight line. The density of the water will increase with temperature, okay? And the density konjam koranji, அப்படியே it will be something like constant, okay? So this happens. So density is the highest at 4 degrees Celsius, okay? This, sometimes even in physics or something, they will ask this one, okay? Highest density is found in 4 degrees Celsius. இது காரணம் என்ன? வால்யூம் குறையுது வாட்டர்ட. அதாவது என்ன ஆகுது? டெம்பரேச்சர் டெம்பரேச்சர் ஒரு சப்ஸ்டண்ட டெம்பரேச்சரை நீங்கள் கூட்டினான்னு சொன்னாண்டா, உதாரணத்துக்கு நான் வந்து ஒரு அயன் மெட்டல் உண்டு இல்லாட்டி சரி ஒரு இது ஒன்று எடுத்து அவர்கிட்ட டெம்பரேச்சரை கூட்டிக்கொண்டு போனாண்டா என்ன ஆகும்னு சொன்னாண்டா the volume will start to expand. Volume will start to expand with temperature. இதனால தான் ஒடுகல்ல நீங்க வந்து இந்த you will certain elements in even in railway tracks you will have to use certain metals with low expansivity. Okay, so this is another property, but what I'm saying is temperature கொடுக்கல வால்யூம் கூடும். வால்யூம் கூட்டினாண்டா என்ன ஆகும்? டென்சிட்டி குறையும். ஆனா இதுல என்ன ஆகுது? இந்த சீன்ல என்ன ஆகுதுன்னு சொன்னாண்டா வாட்டரோட வால்யூம் வந்து குறையுது, இதனால டென்சிட்டி கூடுது. ஏன் வாட்டரோட வால்யூம் சரியா? இது எப்படி பார்க்கணும்னு சொன்னாண்டா let's say we have some water here, 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, sorry, 0 degrees Celsius, then 4 degrees Celsius, then at maybe 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, என்ன ஆகுதுன்னு சொன்னாண்டா இவ்விடத்துல வாட்டரோட வால்யூம் என்ன ஆகுது? இங்கிருந்து இங்க வர காட்டிலையும் வால்யூம் வந்து குறையுதா கூடுதா? குறையுது. சாரி, யா, குறையுது. வாட்டரோட வால்யூம் குறைக்கல என்ன ஆகுது? டென்சிட்டி கூடுது. அப்போ ஸோ 0 to 4 டிகிரி செல்சியஸ் என்ன ஆகும்னு சொன்னாண்டா டென்சிட்டி வந்து கூடும். ஏ வாட்டரோட வால்யூம் குறையிறனால. இஃப் யூ டேக் இண்டிவிஜுவல் வாட்டர் மாலிக்யூல்ஸ் their volume will decrease because of the temperature, and after that what happens? The volume start to increase. Volume increase ஆகல தான் திருப்பி டென்சிட்டி குறையுது, திருப்பி கீழேக்கு போகுது. ஓகே, so I hope that you understood the subject. Did you understand the subject? If not, please let me know in the chat. Okay, I need to understand that. Okay, so therefore water has the maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius. Hence ice floats on the surface of water bodies. Ice மிதக்குது water body surfaceல. ஏன்? Okay, it's because of this density problem. The density ice density வந்து water விட என்ன ஒன்று மிதக்கணும்டா அதோட டென்சிட்டிக்கு என்ன நடக்கணும்? தண்ணியும் ஆயிலையும் ஒன்றுக்கு போட்டா என்ன ஆகுது? ஆயில் வந்து ஏன் மிதக்குது? ஆயில் மிதக்குறதுக்கு காரணம் ஆயிலோட டென்சிட்டி வந்து தண்ணியை விட குறைவு. அதே மாதிரி இந்த சிச்சுவேஷன்ல கூட at 4 degree Celsius எப்படி இருக்கும்னு சொன்னா இந்த சரியா when the temperature of water falls below 4 degree Celsius it begins to freeze அப்ப ஐஸ் ஃபார்ம் ஆகும் ஐஸ் the density சரியா water விட குறைவு okay it forms a crystalline and it's okay ஏ இது பின்னுக்கால போக போக டென்சிட்டி குறையுது டென்சிட்டி குறையிறதுன்ற என்ன அர்த்தம் வால்யூம் வந்து கூடுது okay and it forms ice cubes okay and it starts to float okay it starts to float. Therefore, water has the maximum density at 4 degrees, maximum density of the 4 degrees Celsius. Hence, ice floats on the surface of water bodies. It is an important property of water in polar regions where uh, organisms in aquatic bodies can survive during the winter. Okay. So you have to connect all of this as a story. Expansion upon freezing. Okay. அதாவது ஐஸ் கட்டி உருவாகக்கொள்ள என்ன ஆகுது 4 degree Celsius கீழே வரக்கொள்ள when the temperature of water falls below 4 degree Celsius it begins to freeze and form a crystalline lattice called ice caps அப்ப அதோட வால்யூம் வந்து டென்சிட்டி குறையுதுண்டா வால்யூம் வந்து என்ன ஆகுது யா ஸோ டென்சிட்டி ஐஸ்ட டென்சிட்டி வந்து என்ன சொல்ற வாட்டரோட டென்சிட்டி குறையுது 4 degree Celsius போகக்கொள்ள அப்போ it will start to float okay so all of these things you have to connect it. Okay, let's delete this stuff. Okay, then there is versatility as a solvent. This ability is given to water due to their polarity. Okay, polar molecules, non-polar ionic sodium chloride, both polar and ionic lysosome can dissolve in water because water molecules. Okay, solvent. Solvent என்ற என்னன்னா கரை அதாவது என்னமாலும் நாங்கள் சீனி என்னமாலும் போட்டேன்னு சொன்னால் வாட்டரில் சீனிக்கு நாங்கள் சொல்லுவோம் சொல்யூட்டு வாட்டருக்கு நாங்கள் சொல்லுவோம் solvent சொல்லி சீனி ஏன் தண்ணியில் கரையுதுன்னு சொன்னா because there are certain charges in the negative sorry this thing what do you call in the sugar molecule which forms certain bonds with the water molecules and when they form it dissolves into it okay it kind of like dissolves into it forms okay this ability is given to water due to their polarity polar molecules என்னன்னு சொன்னாடா இப்போ ரெண்டு molecules ரெண்டு ஒரு உதாரணம் சொல்றேன் குளோரினும் இருக்குது இன்னொரு உதாரணம் எப்படின்னு சொன்னாடா சொல்லுவோமே ஆக்சிஜனும் ஹைட்ரஜனும் இருக்குது ஓகே குளோரினும் இருக்குது ஆக்சிஜனும் ஹைட்ரஜன் குளோரினுக்கும் இடையில போலாரிட்டி வந்து எப்படி இது சரியா போலாரிட்டி என்னன்னா எலக்ட்ரானை கவர்ற வீதம் வந்து electron will be polarized in both of these atoms in the same amount. But in contrary, if you take oxygen and hydrogen, okay, since these are both are two different atoms, there will be more electron clouds towards oxygen and less electron clouds towards hydrogen. So because of this, what will happen? Okay, because of this, there will be a difference in polarity, right? So in water molecules, because we have these OH bonds, okay, there is a polarity form. Because of this polarity, okay, it has some properties. Even if glucose molecules, C6H12O6 molecules, yeah, C6H12O6. So I haven't written it correctly, but okay, 6. I mean, like 6 should be small, 12 should be small, and 6. So you know what is C6H12O6, okay? In this C6H12O6, there, if I draw the structure properly, okay, it will look like something like this. Give me a second. Okay, it will look like it will have several bonds, several OH and, okay, without drawing, I will say several OH and other bonds. Because of these different atoms attached, there is going to be a polarity. And because of this polarity, what happens? That's going to be, these are called as polar molecules. Because of this polarity, these are called as polar molecules. Okay. Um, because there is this polarity. Um, Sodium chloride is not a polar molecule. We call it as an ionic molecule because the charges are different. Sodium has a plus, chlorine has a minus, so the charges are different. So this is ionic. Polar molecules are attached, but the charge distribution is not equal in both sides. Non-polar molecules have equal amount of charge distribution in both sides. So here, polar molecules like glucose, non-polar ionic molecules like sodium chloride, okay, uh, both polar and ionic, okay. So this both glucose and sodium chloride. இப்போ பாருங்க வாட்டரோட polarity காரணமாக non-polar molecules மட்டும் இல்ல, even polar molecules like glucose and sodium chlorides, which is ionic molecules, both of them can dissolve because of their because those the water has those charges, okay. um, and they get, and because of this it forms hydrogen bonds. So the main reason yaar sir ketons enanda charges illa sollanum, you have to say because of the hydrogen bonds it dissolves. As soon as a glucose molecule goes in, it has the oxygen will the oxygen molecule in the glucose will attach itself to the hydrogen bond in the water molecules through a partial like a uh, through like a hydrogen bond. You know what hydrogen bond is, but it's a weak bond. Because of this attachment, it dissolves. So if anything can form hydrogen bond with water, it dissolves. Okay. In even sodium chloride, okay, something what happens? There is going to be a bond. Okay. Uh, so what happens? It turns immediately into solute. So these molecules turn immediately into solute. So solubility depends on polarity and not in their ionic nature. Okay. So soluble. So these are these are the points. Okay. You have to note because these are the things they will ask in you in your exams. Solubility depends on polarity. So you have to say all these things. Okay. Now I am coming back to the chart that I mentioned about. Okay. So properties, the cohesiveness, temperature, expansion, and versatility. Okay. If you take the cohesiveness of water, okay, cohesive behavior, I told that there is the water molecule is able to form hydrogen bonds. Okay. Let's go to the subject again. Attraction between water molecules due to hydrogen bonding is known as cohesion. That I told. Okay. Uh, so which property of water? You have to mention okay, properties. Cohesiveness is one. Uh, what is cohesive? What category we can say? The adhesion and okay, which nature, something like that we can say. Okay, which nature? Adhesion and cohesion. Exactly. To be precise, adhesion and cohesion. Okay. If you go to temperature, it's able to say that there are two main properties, two main sub things that you have to talk: high specific heat and high heat of vaporization. Specific heat and high heat of vaporization. Okay. Okay. High heat of valorization. Huh? Yes, high heat of valorization. And then expansion upon freezing. In the property alone. And the temperature of water falls below 40 degrees Celsius. We are talking about the density. Okay. So we can say more specifically what? Density at 4 degrees Celsius. For density at 4 degrees Celsius. Yes. We can do this one. Yeah, density at 40 degrees Celsius. I'm not going to waste time in figuring out how to draw the degree mark. And then last one, versatility. When we talk about versatility, mm, polarity. We are talking about polarity. Okay, can dissolve in water because of water molecule. Okay, water. So we are talking about certain things. Polarity. Okay. Now you can see there is a relationship. We are not just randomly talking about. There is a method we can. Now, if you look through this eyes, you don't need to memorize. You can understand them easily. Okay. Then you can go and you can mention the examples. So cohesiveness கான example என்ன? Like I told you, there is an example. There are one or two examples for adhesion and cohesion, right? So for temperature, high speed specific heat, there is an example. Density at 4 degrees Celsius, there is an example. Polarity, you can again talk about what kind of molecules that dissolves. Okay, the example sodium chloride, which is an ionic molecule, also able to dissolve, and also uh, uh, something like glucose is also able to dissolve. So you have to say those examples, and this is how you make connections. Now, children, okay, this is almost I'm coming to the end of the lesson. I'll just say why I am saying this, okay? I can give you notes or something like that and make you guys write it down. But the thing is, our brain doesn't intake information like that, okay? We are thinking that if we read something or if we write down something or something, we can easily make stuff stay in our brain faster, okay? But that's not the case, okay? That's not the case. In reality, uh, okay, if things need to stay in our brain, if things needs to, I mean, like if we have to keep things in our brain, then we need to, um, okay, we have to take information out of our brain. That's how we are going to make things stay in our brain. So everyone else is thinking how? If we swallow things, if we read certain things, if we highlight certain things, we can easily remember. No, those techniques you can use. Those are not even evidence-based. The highlighting one is not even evidence-based. Last week I discussed how there are evidence-based methods, how you can keep things in your brain. Okay. So using those techniques, you have to keep things in your brain, but uh, that's why I will pinpoint active recall. Okay, active recall. In active recall, what you are doing, last week I said, you have after reading first time and understanding a topic once, you have to keep it down. Okay, and what you have to do is you have to try to tell it, and you have to see it whether you can say the thing that you once saw. Instead of going through that same thing again and again and again, you have to tell that thing outside and see whether you can remember those things that you once saw or understood. This is how you remember things. And once you do that, spaced repetition, you have to remember it after an hour, after a day, after a week, after a month. You have to put a tick after going after trying to say those things, whether you can say those things. Only if you can't say after closing the book, then you can again go to the subject and read again and see if you can remember. So this is the way. Okay, our brain doesn't memorize or store things by trying to put information. It's by trying to take out information. Okay, so so instead of going or into all these notes, okay, if I'm able to say these methods quickly, the class, I can cover more things in the class. And also, okay, you will be able to catch up if you catch up these techniques. And if you, instead of writing my notes, if you go home and if you follow these methods, and if you try to take it out, then you will definitely remember. Is biology. A lot of people are doing the other side. Okay, the chemistry and physics is different. Okay, you have to do a lot of questions, and you have to try to understand concepts. Okay, once you try to understand the concept, you can go for the questions. But in biology, you have to remember a lot of facts, and that comes with the cost. The cost is you have to be involved in the subject, try to understand the subject by understanding human psychology. By trying to understand human psychology, you have to try to memorize certain things. You have to apply techniques. You have to apply these are the things that you have to do. Then only you can keep things in mind effectively. Okay. By that I don't mean memorizing, but uh, keeping things in mind effectively means you are not memorizing. You are trying to understand where you are by saying things outside. Um, okay, since I tried to finish the class, but since we'll go back a little bit and see whether there is something else we can that we have to note. Okay. So let's see what we covered. Is there something that I haven't finished? Please let me know. We'll go up and see this. Okay. Okay. Here. So keep this in mind. Partial negative, partial positive. That thing is there. Mm, Water molecules, its polarity, that part you have to keep that in mind. Then you have to form a chart and try to connect this. What property of water is causing what? If you try to make a story, if you try to remember the stories which I said, yes, Zaran, you have a question? You can ask me. Okay, those things are there. Okay, then we have to go for carbohydrates, monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, and so on. So carbohydrate structure is given. Okay, this is the structure that I was searching for. I will tell quickly. So this, for example, this is a, what do you call it? This is a glucose molecule. Is it a glucose molecule? Yes, aqueous form of glucose molecule. So in this one, what happens is, in the aqueous form, there are two, if you have studied chemistry, you will understand this. There are two electrons like this, okay? Because CH2, oxygen has 6 valency electrons. Out of that, here it will have used one, here it will have used one. Here there is a pair, and here there is a pair. These electrons, what will they do? This is a glucose, நான் இந்த பாட்டை மட்டும் எடுத்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். ஓகே, நீங்க என்ன ஆகும் சொன்னா, நீங்க தண்ணிக்குள்ள போட்ட பிறகு ஆக்சிஜன், உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் தண்ணியில ஆக்சிஜனும் ஹைட்ரஜனும் இருக்கு. ஓகே, தண்ணியில ஆக்சிஜனும் ஹைட்ரஜனும் இருக்கு. இப்ப இதுக்கு என்ன ஆகும்? இந்த தண்ணியிலையும் there will be a partial charge here, partial positive charge here. What will happen? This, okay, this electron will be attracted towards this side. This is called a hydrogen bond. So this is how hydrogen bonds are formed. So these hydrogen bonds are the one which helps it to solubilize this, okay. So that is what actually happening in that solubilization part. Okay. So with that being said, I will let's stop the class for today, and hopefully let's meet in the other class. I hope that students have some questions, and if they have questions, they can contact me personally and ask me what's going on. Okay. And what you need to more understand. If you have any doubts, if you didn't understand anything, if you want to clarify anything, we'll work the way through up. Okay, we'll work it through upwards and see what we can do. Okay. Okay, all the best today. That's the class. Okay. Okay, done.